everyone. I'm Morgan Bell. I'm the social media manager at UAF, and I'm here today with Claire, and she's going to introduce herself, and then we're going to talk about her research. So Claire, if you don't mind just introducing yourself really quickly.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Claire. I am an undergraduate student at UC Berkeley, but during the summer I was able to go to UAF for a research internship where I worked with John Walsh. While I was there, I did this research project on extreme precipitation in Alaska.
Awesome. Do you mind just explaining a little bit more about your research?
Yeah, so if you were looking at the news this summer, you probably noticed that there was a lot of extreme precipitation and big floods around the world. Like in Europe and China, there were some just really devastating floods. So it kind of raises these questions about how extreme precipitation events are changing around the world. And in Alaska, there's not that much research into that, and the climate models aren't quite as clear as some other areas in the world. Part of that is because Alaska has an extremely variable climate, and so does the Arctic in general, so it takes longer for trends to emerge. So what I did was I looked at 5 locations throughout Alaska that had experienced devastating flood events. And then at each location, I looked at historical data to see if there were historical trends in extreme precipitation events. And then I also looked at climate model projections. And just a quick overview, I found that there aren't any historical, statistically significant historical trends in the historical data in extreme precipitation. So part of that could be because it takes longer for the trends to emerge in Alaska. But overall, the 2 climate models I looked at agreed that extreme precipitation will become more common in the future.
Thank you, Claire. And you mentioned that you were a part of a internship with NSF's Research Experience for Undergraduates program, and you got to work with John Walsh. Could you just tell us a little bit more about what it was like working with John?
Yeah. John is really easy to work with. He was super inspiring and helpful throughout the whole summer, really approachable. And I know he's super famous in the climate science field, so it's kind of amazing that working with someone who's that successful and has done so much groundbreaking research can be so easy and not feel intimidating. So it was definitely I learned a lot from him and from all the other researchers at UAF I got to meet. It was definitely a unique experience.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an amazing experience. And then just my last question for you, Claire, is was there anything that you found just particularly interesting about this, or anything that would be indicative of future events?
Yeah, so generally, like I said, extreme precipitation in Alaska, at the 5 locations I looked at, are projected to become more common. But I also looked at the amount of precipitation that occurred during the 5, so each event has, like I said, experienced a big flood. So I looked at the historical data and looked at how much rain occurred during those floods, and then I looked at climate models to see how often that type of event is projected to occur. And overall, those really big extreme precipitation events are still projected to remain rare, but smaller, still an event that maybe occurs once every 5 years, that type of thing is projected to become a lot more common.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for your time, Claire.
Yeah, thank you.